Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered why your skin suddenly seems thinner, drier, or more fragile than it did just a few years ago? Maybe you've tried expensive creams, luxury serums, or products that promised younger-looking skin in just a few weeks. Yet despite spending more money, your skin still feels rough, fine lines seem more noticeable, and that healthy glow appears to be fading little by little. If this sounds familiar, you're certainly not alone. As we grow older, especially after the age of 60, our skin begins to change in ways that many people don't fully understand. These changes are completely natural, but knowing what causes them can make a tremendous difference in how you care for your skin. Hello, I'm Dr. James Carter. Today, I'd like to share a different perspective on healthy aging skin. Instead of focusing on expensive products with long ingredient lists or marketing promises that sound too good to be true, we're going to explore something much simpler. Nature has provided remarkable plant oils that have been valued for generations. Modern research is now helping us understand why many of these traditional ingredients continue to earn a place in skincare routines around the world. Now, before we go any further, I'd like to make one thing very clear. There is no natural oil, cream, or serum that can completely erase wrinkles overnight or stop the aging process. Anyone who promises that is setting unrealistic expectations. However, certain plant oils may help support the skin's natural barrier, improve moisture retention, soften the appearance of fine lines, and leave mature skin looking healthier and more comfortable over time when used consistently as part of an overall skincare routine. And today, I'll show you the 3 oils I personally believe deserve far more attention than they receive. In fact, the final oil we'll discuss is one that many people have never even heard of, yet it contains an impressive combination of naturally occurring fatty acids that mature skin often appreciates. So stay with me until the end. Before we talk about any specific oil, though, we first need to understand why skin changes so dramatically with age. Because once you understand what's happening beneath the surface, choosing the right skincare products becomes much easier. One of the biggest misconceptions I hear is that wrinkles appear simply because the skin gets older. That's only part of the story. Healthy skin depends on several important building blocks working together. Collagen helps provide structure. Elastin allows the skin to stretch and return to its original shape. Natural oils produced by tiny sebaceous glands help protect the surface and reduce moisture loss. The skin barrier acts almost like a protective shield, keeping hydration inside while helping defend against environmental stress. Over time, each of these systems gradually becomes less efficient. Collagen production slows. Elastin fibers become less flexible. Natural oil production decreases. The outer skin barrier becomes less effective at holding onto moisture. This is one reason mature skin often feels dry even after applying moisturizer. It's not always because you're using the wrong cream. Sometimes the skin simply struggles to keep hydration where it belongs. That's also why many people begin noticing crepey skin around the neck, chest, arms, and hands. These areas naturally have less oil production than the face, making age-related dryness even more noticeable. Another factor is years of exposure to sunlight. Ultraviolet radiation slowly affects collagen, elastin, and the skin barrier. Even if you've taken wonderful care of yourself, those effects gradually accumulate over decades. Then there are everyday stressors: cold weather, dry indoor heating, air conditioning, wind, pollution. Even repeated washing with harsh cleansers can slowly weaken the skin's protective barrier. The good news is that healthy skincare doesn't have to become more complicated every year. In many cases, simplifying your routine while choosing ingredients that help support the skin barrier can actually be more beneficial than constantly adding new products. And that's exactly where carefully selected plant oils may offer valuable support. But not every oil works the same way. Some are heavier, some absorb quickly, some are especially rich in fatty acids. Others provide unique antioxidant compounds. Choosing the right one depends not only on your skin type, but also on what your skin needs most. In the next section, I'll explain why understanding the difference between hydration and nourishment may completely change the way you think about caring for mature skin. One of the most common questions I receive is surprisingly simple. Dr. Carter, why does my skin still feel dry even though I moisturize every single day? It's an excellent question, and the answer often has less to do with the moisturizer itself than with what's happening underneath. Let's imagine your skin as a brick wall. The skin cells are the bricks. The natural fats and oils surrounding those cells act like the mortar holding everything together. When we're younger, That wall is strong. It keeps water inside while protecting the skin from outside irritants. As we age, however, the mortar slowly begins to weaken. Tiny gaps develop. Moisture escapes more easily. The skin becomes rougher, tighter, and less comfortable. This process is often called transepidermal water loss. The name sounds technical, but the idea is actually quite simple. Your skin gradually loses water faster than it can replace it. That's one reason mature skin often appears dull instead of naturally radiant. Many people respond by applying thicker creams several times each day. Sometimes that helps, sometimes it doesn't. Why? Because hydration and nourishment are not exactly the same thing. Hydration refers to water. Nourishment involves supporting the skin barrier with ingredients such as lipids and fatty acids that help the skin function more effectively. Think of watering a garden. If the soil has cracks everywhere, pouring on more water won't solve the problem. The water simply disappears more quickly. Repairing the soil allows that moisture to remain where it's needed. Your skin behaves in a surprisingly similar way. This is where certain plant oils may become valuable additions to a skincare routine. Rather than replacing your moisturizer, many natural oils work alongside it by helping reduce moisture loss and supporting the outer skin barrier. Of course, not all oils are created equal. Some are incredibly rich and form a more protective layer. Others are lightweight and absorb quickly without leaving the skin feeling greasy. Instead of searching for one magical ingredient, I prefer thinking about oils as tools. Different tools serve different purposes. Let's begin with one that has been appreciated for generations: castor oil. Few natural oils have attracted as much attention in recent years. Its texture is much thicker than most facial oils, which means only a very small amount is usually needed. Castor oil contains naturally occurring ricinoleic acid, along with several fatty acids that contribute to its unique feel. Because of its rich consistency, many people enjoy applying it to especially dry areas such as the elbows, knees, hands, or neck before bedtime. Others like combining just a drop with lighter oils to make it easier to spread across larger areas. Another excellent option is grapeseed oil. Unlike castor oil, grapeseed oil feels noticeably lighter on the skin. It absorbs more quickly, making it a popular choice for people who dislike heavy skincare products. It also naturally contains antioxidant compounds called polyphenols, which are widely studied for their role in helping protect skin from environmental stress. Then there's evening primrose oil. Although it's often discussed less frequently, it's another interesting choice for mature skin. This oil naturally contains gamma-linolenic acid, often shortened to GLA. It's one of the fatty acids that has attracted attention for its potential role in supporting healthy skin function. Many people appreciate its silky texture, especially during colder months when skin tends to feel tighter and drier. Now here's something important to remember. None of these oils should be viewed as miracle treatments. Instead, think of them as creating a healthier foundation. When your skin barrier is better supported, other skincare products often perform more effectively as well. But these three oils are only the beginning, because next we're going to explore one remarkable botanical oil that's naturally rich in compounds associated with smoother-looking, brighter, healthier skin. And it's been quietly included in many premium skincare products for years, even though most people never realize it's there. Now that we've talked about why mature skin often needs more than hydration alone, let's take a closer look at the first oil I recommend most often when someone asks for an affordable place to begin: castor oil. It has been used in traditional wellness practices for generations, yet many people still overlook it because of one simple reason: its texture. The first time you pour castor oil into your hand, you'll probably notice how thick it feels compared to most facial oils. Some people even wonder if it's too heavy for the skin. Surprisingly, that rich texture is exactly what makes it so useful for certain people, especially those with very dry or mature skin. Castor oil naturally contains a fatty acid called ricinoleic acid, along with other lipids that help give it its unique consistency. While research into topical castor oil is still evolving, many people appreciate its ability to leave the skin feeling softer and more comfortable after application. One important thing to understand is that healthy-looking skin isn't always about making wrinkles disappear. Often, skin appears younger simply because it looks smoother, feels more supple, and reflects light more evenly. Dry, rough skin scatters light. Well-conditioned skin reflects it. That subtle difference can make fine lines appear less noticeable without changing the structure of the skin itself. This is one reason so many people enjoy using a small amount of castor oil as the final step in their evening routine. It acts almost like a protective layer, helping reduce moisture loss while you sleep. However, more is not always better. One of the biggest mistakes I see is people applying far too much. Because castor oil is naturally concentrated, you only need a small amount. A single drop may be enough for the face. Another drop can easily cover the neck. If your hands tend to look dry or creepy, gently massaging a little into the backs of your hands before bed can help them feel softer by morning. The neck and chest are also areas that deserve attention. Many skincare routines focus almost entirely on the face, yet the neck often shows signs of aging earlier because the skin is thinner and produces less oil naturally. If you only care for your face, the difference between the two areas may gradually become more noticeable over time. Consistency matters much more than quantity. Using a small amount several evenings each week is generally a more practical approach than applying a large amount once in a while. Now, does castor oil work for everyone? Not necessarily. People with very oily or acne-prone skin may prefer lighter oils instead, and anyone trying a new skincare ingredient should perform a small patch test first. Healthy skincare should never be a race. Introduce one new product at a time. Give your skin an opportunity to respond. Then decide whether it fits comfortably into your routine. There's another reason I like castor oil. It pairs exceptionally well with other botanical oils. Instead of expecting one ingredient to do everything, I prefer combining ingredients that complement one another. Think of it as building a balanced team rather than searching for a single superstar. And speaking of superstar ingredients, the next oil we're about to discuss has quietly become one of my favorites for mature skin. In fact, you've probably already used it without realizing it. Many premium skincare products include it because of its naturally occurring compounds that support smoother, healthier-looking skin. Let's talk about rosehip oil. If I had to choose one botanical oil that consistently earns its place in a skincare routine for mature skin, rosehip oil would be very high on my list. Despite its name, it doesn't smell like roses. Instead, it comes from the fruit and seeds left behind after the rose flower has bloomed. Inside those tiny seeds is a remarkable combination of essential fatty acids and naturally occurring compounds that have made rosehip oil a favorite in skincare for decades. One reason people enjoy rosehip oil is how lightweight it feels. Unlike thicker oils, it spreads easily and absorbs relatively quickly, making it comfortable for many different skin types. But texture is only part of the story. As we age, the skin's natural renewal process slows down. Fresh skin cells take longer to reach the surface, while older cells remain on top for longer periods. The result? Skin may appear dull, uneven, and less radiant than it once did. Healthy cell turnover is part of the skin's normal renewal cycle. While no oil can force your skin to become younger, ingredients found naturally in rosehip oil may help support a healthier-looking complexion when used consistently over time. Many people also appreciate the way rosehip oil leaves the skin looking brighter without feeling heavy. That's why you'll often find it included in moisturizers, facial oils, and overnight treatments designed for mature skin. But there's another ingredient that deserves just as much attention: Bakuchiol. If you've never heard of it before, you're certainly not alone. Over the last several years, Bakuchiol has attracted growing interest because it offers a plant-derived option for people who find traditional retinoids difficult to tolerate. Retinoids remain an important part of skincare for many individuals, but they don't suit everyone. Some people experience dryness. Others notice redness or irritation, especially when first introducing them into a routine. Bakuchiol has become popular because many people find it gentler while still fitting well into routines focused on smoother-looking skin. The important word here is gentler, not stronger. Healthy skincare is rarely about choosing the most aggressive product. It's about finding ingredients your skin is willing to work with consistently. Consistency almost always outperforms intensity. That's a lesson I've seen repeated countless times. Someone using a gentle routine every evening for months often achieves more comfortable, healthier-looking skin than someone constantly switching products in search of dramatic overnight results. This is why I often think of rosehip oil and Bakuchiol as partners rather than competitors. Rosehip oil helps nourish the skin and support its natural barrier. Bakuchiol complements that routine with its own unique plant-derived properties. Together, they create a simple combination that many people enjoy using as part of an evening skincare routine. Of course, even the best ingredients need realistic expectations. Fine lines don't disappear overnight. Skin doesn't become 20 years younger in a week. Real progress is usually gradual. Sometimes the first thing people notice isn't fewer wrinkles at all. It's that their skin feels calmer, softer, less tight after washing, more comfortable throughout the day. Those small improvements often encourage people to continue building healthier habits. And speaking of nourishment, there's one remarkable botanical oil that receives far less attention than it deserves. It's naturally rich in several different omega fatty acids, has a vibrant color unlike almost any other facial oil, and many people with mature skin are pleasantly surprised the first time they try it. Let's explore why sea buckthorn oil has quietly become one of the most underrated oils in natural skincare. So far, we've talked about supporting the skin barrier, reducing moisture loss, and choosing oils that work with mature skin instead of against it. Now I'd like to introduce an oil that, in my opinion, deserves far more recognition than it receives. Sea buckthorn oil. Unlike many facial oils that appear pale yellow or nearly clear, sea buckthorn oil has a rich orange color because it's naturally abundant in carotenoids, the same family of plant pigments found in foods like carrots and sweet potatoes. The first time you see it, you might think it's far too colorful for skincare. But don't let the color fool you. Used in the proper amount, it's one of the most nutrient-dense botanical oils available. One of the reasons it attracts so much scientific interest is its naturally occurring blend of omega fatty acids. Most people have heard of omega-3, some know about omega-6, but sea buckthorn also contains omega-7, a fatty acid that's less commonly discussed yet naturally present in several tissues throughout the body. Together with omega-9, these fatty acids help create an oil that many people with mature skin find deeply nourishing. Now, it's important to understand what these nutrients actually do. They don't erase wrinkles. They don't magically tighten loose skin overnight. Instead, they help support a healthier skin barrier, making it easier for the skin to stay comfortable, resilient, and better protected against everyday environmental stress. Think about how your skin feels during the middle of winter. Cold air outside, dry heating indoors, repeated hand washing. These everyday habits slowly challenge the outer layer of the skin. When the barrier becomes compromised, the skin may feel rough, itchy, flaky, or unusually sensitive. Many people assume they suddenly developed sensitive skin. Sometimes the real issue is simply that the skin barrier needs support. This is where sea buckthorn oil may become particularly useful. Its combination of fatty acids and naturally occurring antioxidants makes it an appealing choice for individuals whose skin often feels dry, fragile, or easily irritated. In fact, many people tell me they aren't bothered most by wrinkles. They're bothered by discomfort. Their face feels tight after cleansing. Their cheeks sting when the weather changes. Their neck always feels dry, no matter what moisturizer they apply. Those are signs that the skin may be asking for barrier support, rather than stronger active ingredients. Another benefit people appreciate is how sea buckthorn oil can leave mature skin looking healthier simply because it helps improve comfort and hydration. Comfortable skin often looks healthier. Healthy-looking skin often appears more radiant. Sometimes the goal isn't looking 20 years younger. It's looking like the healthiest version of yourself today. That mindset alone can completely change your skincare routine. Now, before you rush out to buy the first bottle you find online, let's talk about quality. Not every facial oil is created equally. When shopping for botanical oils, I recommend looking for products that are cold-pressed whenever possible. Cold pressing helps preserve many naturally occurring compounds that may be affected by excessive heat during processing. Packaging matters as well. Dark glass bottles help protect oils from unnecessary exposure to light, which may help maintain freshness over time. Once opened, store your oils in a cool place and always close the bottle tightly after use. Fresh oils generally provide the best experience. If an oil develops an unpleasant odor or changes dramatically in color or texture, it's usually time to replace it. Remember, quality matters more than quantity. A small bottle of a carefully produced oil often lasts much longer than people expect, because only a few drops are needed during each application. Now we've explored several outstanding oils individually. But skincare isn't about collecting dozens of products. It's about building a routine that's simple enough to follow consistently. So, in the next section, I'd like to show you exactly how I would organize these oils into a practical evening routine for mature skin. One that takes only a few minutes but may leave your skin feeling noticeably more comfortable by morning. Whenever someone asks me where to begin, my answer is almost always the same. Keep your routine simple. Healthy skin rarely requires 15 different products. In fact, using too many active ingredients at the same time is one of the most common reasons people experience redness, dryness, and unnecessary irritation. Instead of overwhelming your skin, give it what it needs consistently. If you were sitting across from me today asking how I would build an evening routine around these botanical oils, here's exactly what I would recommend. First, begin with clean skin. Use a gentle cleanser that removes sunscreen, makeup, and daily impurities without leaving your skin feeling stripped. After cleansing, gently pat your face dry. Notice I didn't say rub. Mature skin becomes thinner with age, and aggressive rubbing can create unnecessary friction. Leaving the skin slightly damp, not soaking wet, just lightly damp, often helps subsequent products spread more comfortably across the surface. Next comes your moisturizing step if you normally use one. A simple moisturizer provides hydration. The botanical oil comes afterward to help support the skin barrier and reduce moisture loss. Think of the moisturizer as adding water. Think of the oil as helping that moisture remain where your skin can benefit from it. Now let's build the oil blend. If your skin is especially dry, begin with one small drop of castor oil. Remember, only a little is needed. Next, add several drops of rosehip oil. Its lighter texture helps balance the richness of the castor oil while contributing its own naturally occurring fatty acids. If you enjoy using Bakuchiol, this is an excellent time to include it according to the directions provided by the manufacturer. Many people prefer applying Bakuchiol in the evening as part of a calming nighttime routine. For those whose skin often feels fragile or uncomfortable, adding 1 or 2 drops of sea buckthorn oil can provide additional nourishment. Mix everything gently between your fingertips before pressing, not rubbing, the oils onto the face. Pressing encourages even distribution while minimizing unnecessary pulling on delicate skin. Don't stop at your face. Extend the remaining product across your neck, then the upper chest. Finally, massage any leftover oil into the backs of your hands. Our hands quietly reveal age just as quickly as our faces, yet they're often forgotten. Now I'd like to mention something equally important: patch testing. Even natural ingredients can cause irritation for some individuals. Whenever introducing a new oil, apply a small amount to an inconspicuous area and wait a day or two before using it more broadly. This simple step may save you unnecessary discomfort. Another mistake I often see is expecting immediate results. Healthy skin changes gradually. Most improvements happen because small habits are repeated consistently over weeks and months, not because of one extraordinary application. Patience is one of the most underrated skincare ingredients. I'd also encourage you to pay attention to your lifestyle. No facial oil can replace quality sleep. No serum can compensate for chronic dehydration. No moisturizer can completely undo years of unprotected sun exposure. Healthy skin reflects the way we care for our bodies as a whole. Nutritious meals rich in colorful vegetables, adequate protein, regular physical activity, staying hydrated, managing stress, and protecting your skin from excessive sunlight all work together with your skincare routine. The oils simply become one piece of a much larger picture. As our conversation comes to an end, I'd like to leave you with one final thought. If someone asked me to clear my bathroom shelf and keep only a handful of skincare essentials for mature skin, which oils would make the final cut? In the last section, I'll answer that question, summarize everything we've discussed today, and explain why keeping your routine simple may be the most powerful anti-aging strategy of all. We've covered a lot of information today, so before we finish, I'd like to leave you with one simple question. If you walked into my office tomorrow and said, "Dr. Carter, I don't want a complicated skincare routine. I don't want 10 different products. I simply want to take the best possible care of my skin as I grow older. Where should I begin?" My answer would be surprisingly simple. Start with consistency, not perfection. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing they need an entirely new skincare routine every time they notice another wrinkle or another product becomes popular online. The truth is, healthy skin responds remarkably well to routines that are gentle, realistic, and easy to maintain. You don't need to chase every trend. You don't need a cabinet full of expensive jars. And you certainly don't need products that promise impossible results. Your skin isn't asking for perfection. It's asking for support. So, if I had to narrow everything down to just 3 botanical oils for mature skin, these would be the ones I'd keep. The first is castor oil. Not because it's fashionable, not because it's expensive, but because its rich texture makes it an excellent option for people whose skin feels persistently dry, especially around the neck, chest, elbows, hands, and other areas that naturally lose moisture with age. Used sparingly, it can become a simple finishing step that helps your skin feel more comfortable overnight. My second choice would be rosehip oil. I appreciate how lightweight it feels while providing naturally occurring fatty acids that complement a healthy skincare routine. Many people enjoy using it because it absorbs comfortably and leaves the skin looking fresh rather than heavy or greasy. It has remained popular for decades for a reason. It's simple, reliable, and easy to include in almost any evening routine. My third choice would be Bakuchiol. Not because it's meant to replace every other skincare ingredient, but because many people who struggle with stronger products appreciate having a plant-derived option that fits comfortably into a consistent routine. Healthy skincare is rarely about choosing the strongest ingredient. It's about choosing the ingredient your skin is willing to work with day after day. Now, you may have noticed I didn't include sea buckthorn oil in my final 3. That doesn't mean it isn't excellent. Quite the opposite. In fact, for people whose skin often feels dry, fragile, or easily irritated, sea buckthorn oil may become one of the most valuable additions to their routine. If I were allowed one honorable mention, this would absolutely be it. And here's something I'd like you to remember long after this video ends. Beautiful skin is never created by one bottle alone. Think of skincare as building a house. Every healthy habit adds another brick. A nourishing diet provides one brick. Quality sleep adds another. Daily movement strengthens the foundation. Managing stress protects the structure. Drinking enough water supports every system in your body. Protecting your skin from excessive sun exposure helps preserve what you've already built. Then your skincare routine becomes the roof that helps protect everything underneath. When those habits work together, your skin often reflects the care you're giving your entire body. I've met people in their 70s and 80s whose skin looked wonderfully healthy. Not because they found a miracle product, not because they never developed wrinkles, but because they cared for their skin gently, consistently, and patiently over many years. That's the goal I hope you'll aim for. Not chasing younger skin, but creating healthier skin. There's a meaningful difference. Wrinkles tell the story of a life well lived. Laugh lines remind us of joyful moments. The goal isn't to erase those memories. The goal is to keep your skin comfortable, resilient, and healthy enough to carry those memories with confidence. Before we finish, I'd like to leave you with one final piece of advice. Whenever you introduce a new skincare product, whether it's a botanical oil, a moisturizer, or a serum, give it time. Healthy skin rarely changes overnight. Small improvements repeated consistently over weeks and months often become the most rewarding transformations. Be patient with yourself. Your skin has supported you through every season of your life. It deserves kindness, not frustration. If you found today's discussion helpful, I'd love to know which of these oils you're most curious about trying first. Have you already used castor oil? Do you enjoy rosehip oil? Or are you interested in learning more about bakuchiol or sea buckthorn oil? Share your experience in the comments below. Reading your stories not only helps me understand what topics you'd like to explore next, but it also allows other viewers to learn from your experiences. And if you enjoy evidence-based conversations about healthy aging, nutrition, skincare, and simple lifestyle habits that support wellness after 60, I invite you to subscribe and join me for future discussions. Thank you for spending part of your day with me. Until next time, take good care of yourself, be patient with your skin, and remember that healthy aging isn't about turning back the clock. It's about helping your body and your skin look and feel its very best at every stage of life. I'm Dr. James Carter, and I'll see you again very soon.